Developing countries like Kenya have not been spared by environmental challenges and climate change that requires a call for a radical shift in addressing growth and development. The application of weather, climate and water information services helps to improve the safety and well-being of people. It reduces poverty, increases prosperity, and protects the environment for future generations. The Kenya-Denmark Green Growth and Employment Program was structured to stimulate growth based on green solutions and generation of employment.
The Green Growth and Employment Program is a cooperation between the Kenyan government and the Danish government. Kenya would like very much to become a greener and more sustainable society with less resource use and better growth. And Denmark has worked on this for many years now, and in Denmark we think that we can contribute to Kenya's quicker development in this direction.
Green growth presents a new approach to economic growth by integrating environmental considerations in economic decision-making and development planning. Employment is an important transmission mechanism between growth and poverty reduction, and there are opportunities for generating sustainable employment in the greening of growth. Green growth is, however, supported through key characteristics that cover inclusive greener growth with higher employment. Weather forecasting is a single most important practical reason for the existence of meteorology as a science. The Kenya Meteorology Department in the Ministry of Environment and Forestry is the official government department responsible for issuing weather advisories.
Our mandate mainly is on climate and meteorological information for disaster risk reduction in form of giving information to save life, giving information for protection of property, and also for conservation of the environment.
It issues seasonal weather reviews and the outlook across the country in the March, April and May long rain season and October, November and December, which is a short rain season.
We prepare for the season in two ways. First of all, we give a forecast, an anticipation indicating the amount of rainfall we may get, or even how that kind of rainfall is going to be distributed across the country. And therefore, that forecast is very important for giving that indication.
Component 4 under the Green Growth and Employment Program focuses on the improved use of climate data in economic planning and disaster risk mitigation through the support of Participatory Scenario Planning, PSP.
The reason why we chose PSP as a means of cascading the information is because this is a forum where the weather experts are actually engaging one-on-one with the communities, the farmers and the pastoralists, and at this engagement they are able to demystify the weather information, and the farmers or pastoralists are able to identify information and relate the same information to their locality.
Project tries to improve the use of climate data, which will make the economical planning for the farmers better, and it will also be very important in mitigating risks related to bad weather or bad climate.
PSP facilitates the communication of the advisories through the downscaled national forecast to respective community stakeholders.
Downscaling, we mean customizing it to county specific. So the process is that we have several tools that we use. At the moment we are using FactFit as fact in the forecast interpretation tool, and also GeoCrim, and also we use geographic information systems so that we can be able to admit or give images.
Decentralizing of this weather information is done through the 47 county meteorological offices to fast-track the expansion of meteorological observation networks and improve the generation and dissemination of weather and climate information and advisories to the communities.
With the training and the downscaling, we are able now to understand the forecast and to be able to advise our farmers. And with that information, we are able to decide on the crops that are fit for the given season.
Participatory scenario planning in 18 counties across the country facilitated enabling customized national forecasts to their areas of jurisdictions, developed scenarios to explore possible environmental future that analyze their vulnerability and capacity to cope with climate-related challenges and develop plans for adaptation.
Mambo ya mchele, hewa ikiwa mbaya, saa yote sisi hatupati mafuno mzuri. Kwa kweli ni mzuri sana, wale watu wanaweza kuja hapa watueleze kabisa mambo ya hali ya hewa. Tungesukuru sana sisi kama jamii ya hapa, tuseme hii moya yetu, na tunaweza furahi sana sababu pengine tunapanda kitu, unaona sababu ya kushindwa na mambo ya hiyo hali ya hewa inakuja inapotea.
Stakeholders in value chains have been able to take advantage of advisories to strengthen their capacity on climate-related threats to food security.
Under the environmental resilience docket, we were collaborating with the KMD to produce advisories under the participatory scenario planning, a process where all value chain actors, the stakeholders come together and through the scientific forecast and the traditional forecast, we bring them together and share the forecast from the med scientists and the traditional forecast. And then after that, we harmonize the two and come up with advisories related to the rain patterns and weather in general.
They have been able to use the information, the weather information from meteorology for their planning, for them to know when to plant their crops, when to do their off-take in terms of livestock off-takes, in case there will be some drought that is envisioned. So this has actually been a very good platform where the farmers and the officers from meteorology department and sector ministries from agriculture and water are able to discuss the weather information that has been released.
PSP therefore makes all stakeholders in different value chains to boost food security and income generation by climate change proofing.
Before we come up with a seasonal forecast and even a monthly forecast, we do a co-production. Co-production of this climate information is between us, the meteorological department, and the indigenous weather forecasters. As we all may know, weather forecasting is as old as humanity itself. So before meteorology came into existence, there were traditional weather forecasters who are doing it. So in Elgeyo-Marakwet County, we sit together with the traditional weather forecasters, and they give the outlook, we also give the scientific outlook, and then we merge the two. We come up with a consensus.
We have moved from giving the usually normals or above normal or below normal to giving the range, for example, of a particular area, 5 kilometer by 5 kilometer grid, that maybe, for example, in Makoyo we are expecting 440 millimeters, between 440 to 600 millimeters.
The outcomes in PSPs were robust, intense, and highly structured two-day scenario development protocols that engage stakeholders in the full scenario development process, from the initial orientation and identification of driving forces through to fleshed-out scenarios narratives and quantitative inputs able to inform land use simulations.
Huwa tunapata hizi habari za hali ya anga, mabadiliko yake. So sisi kitu huwa tunafanya ni kutayarisha mashamba yetu. Tukishatayarisha mashamba yetu, tunasubiria huo muda wenye huwa tumeambiwa ama tumeona hali venye inaenda ama mabadiliko ya anga, ndio tunaanza kupanda.
After issuing advisories, activities are implemented around trade facilitation, value chains, climate change mitigation and adaptation, productivity, advocacy and market access.
Kwa hii hali ya ukulima tunafanya ukulima mara mbili kwa mwaka. Tunapanda kuanzia Januari, tunafuna mwezi wa 8, alafu tena tutafuna tena mwezi wa 12. Kwa hayo mafuno tunapata mwezi wa 8 tunavuna kwa wingi. Lakini ukija mwezi wa 12 tunavuna kidogo. Kwa nini? Tunapata haya majira yanabadilika. Ndio tunapata hayo wimbi tunavuna kidogo. Na mwisho tena tunaona kwa sababu tumezoea tunalima kila wakati, tunaona wimbi mwezi wa 12 unakuwa kidogo, tunachangia pia kulima mahindi, tunaongezea angalau mabato yakuwe juu.
You should have climate information or weather information so that you plan well and get rich. I can say I'm a very rich farmer because I use climate information.
Kwa hivyo mimi nasema hiyo kitu ya hali ya hewa sasa hivi imekuja Kajiado. It is one of the best ambaye serikali imetufanyia na tunafurahi sana sana sana.
The farmers need to know when to start preparing their land when we are giving this forecast. They need to know when they start plowing. They need to know when to start planting, what kind of seeds to plant, and even during harvesting time, when to harvest, when to do the dop dressing, and when to do marketing.
The benefit of this is that the farmers or pastoralists, because the information has been taken right to them and it is applicable right within their locality, they have been able to trust the information that is given out by Meteorology Department, and they have been able to utilize the same in planning.
Improved use of climate data in economic planning and disaster risk mitigation builds capacity on working with partners, offering innovative solutions, and a willingness to meet the challenges of promoting a greener economy and creating employment.
Long time ago, where we didn't have the PSP, it was very difficult for the farmers to believe our focus. But now, because we are engaging every day, every time, most farmers and all the sectors, they are really consumers of the weather and climate information because of the PSP.
Already now they can start caution themselves against climate change, and they can start experimenting with new varieties of crop that better resists either drought or extended rains, depending where they are living.
Currently, we are collaborating with other development partners like the Agriculture Sector Development Support Program, SDSP, the counties, for purposes of sustainability, so that as we wind up this program, the Green Growth and Employment Program, at least we have partners who can pick it up at the county level and continue with the same.
It is a boost to the most vulnerable sectors, with climate change assisting in mitigation and adaptation, where investment in natural capital and sustainable use of natural resources plays a key role, and where opportunities for fostering green growth and creating employment are significant.